Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy SoSo, in case you ain't know so, and welcome back to another dope episode of Sports with SoSo. Coming to you live, y'all. This week, we got special guest Puello in the house, and we're talking Super Bowl, betting, and a little bit of Heat and Panthers. It's time to take a ride, y'all. Let's go. So my whole point with the MetLife thing is they're going to grass, right? Because of a couple of injuries, most notably Aaron Rodgers, right? And a couple of other players, Jalen Phillips, we saw he went down too. But I always wondered if like grass was better for you or turf was better for you. I liked grass personally. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if we got preferences. Preference is a preference,
Right.
But the actual surface doesn't cause an injury. Actual surface isn't the cause for Achilles being torn, ACLs going out, because they also get torn on grass and on turf. Also, baseball players play on turf too.
A lot.
You don't see non-contact injuries with baseball players.
A lot, yeah.
Right? Basketball players play on court. They also have non-contact injuries too. It's bad training or lack of training. It's one of the two, or a mixture of both.
Or injuries that they never really healed or really purposely like rehabilitate.
That's bad training. Because you go to a trainer, you get assessed, and we see you had a past injury, we work on it.
So you're saying it's solely based on that, and there's no other chance that it could be anything else?
There's factors, but
because a lot of it's because of the fact that in MetLife in particular, so many injuries and of the same nature happen. So it's like these are world class athletes, and they might not be doing some of the specific training that baseball or other athletes do, but at some point you got to go, why isn't this happening at, say, Dolphin Stadium? You know what I mean? Where the Dolphins play at Hard Rock. It's grass there. They got turf. They take care of it. They bring it in. You see the whole Hard Knocks thing where they grow it. They have a whole farm.
Weekly.
Happens all the time at that stadium. And now they're having a World Cup there?
That's a valid question. That's a valid question. But just another thing, just because they're world-class athletes doesn't mean they're getting world-class training. There's a lot of world-class athletes, quote unquote, that either don't train or they have bad trainers. And I'm glad you said that, because they actually had a little, I don't know if quarterback on Netflix. You guys seen it? Mm-hmm. So Patrick Mahomes had his trainer on there, and it showed what he was doing. Like little clips of what he was doing in the gym.
Just unorthodox things.
Patrick Mahomes' trainer had him actually perform almost damn near a backflip off the. I don't know if you guys saw it.
Yeah, I saw it where he's like almost like doing
his trainer,
like a yoga move.
His trainer went out of his way to pose to the world to showcase that particular exercise or things like that, to that nature that they were doing, prepared him to not get hurt. He had that awkward hit against Baltimore.
Yeah, where he got bent over.
And he said, well, he was prepared for this.
Imagine how strong that muscle must have been.
No, bullshit. See, that's what he wants. He wants people to have that kind of thought. And idea. Anybody that trains or is in this world knows that that's a load of bullshit. Like, you don't do that. Like, you don't do that. Muscle is muscle. When you lift, it compresses the same way. So if you do a deadlift, you do a lunge, it compresses the same way a bodybuilder would. The only thing is, athletes, we train in specific planes of motions. So you got a frontal plane, you got a transverse plane, you got a sagittal plane, which is left to right. We train in those motions. That's why they're efficient in those motions. You get a guy that's very efficient in whatever motion that pertains to his sport, then he's less likely to get hurt. Whether it's on grass, whether it's on turf, whether it's on anything.
Hardwood, concrete.
I'll give you another one. Have you ever, like when we were little, you ever like had your cleats and walked on concrete and they told you you're going to get water in your knees?
All the time.
Did you ever see somebody get water in their knees?
Not me particularly.
I never saw it, but like I seen it.
No, I never. No, I personally, to answer your point, and you probably know this, right? Like I don't have the greatest of knees, right? And it's probably because the muscles around there aren't necessarily the best to support the knee, right? But I was always conscious of that because my cousin Axel would walk around cleats and I'd be like, yo, be careful with that. You know what I mean? But I never had water in my knees.
Let me ask you a question.
They only took fluid out one time out of my wrist, ever. That was it.
Did he tear his ACL?
He did.
With his cleats on?
Damn. No, it was actually playing basketball.
Was it contact?
Oh shit! Now you're asking me to pull the memory, dog.
Actually, so my whole point is this. When we were younger,
it could have been non. It was probably him just going up for a layup, if I remember correctly.
When we were younger, right? How many ACLs did you remember happening like you do now?
Like as kids?
Like, yeah, as kids, even young adults, it wasn't even
not a lot. Not a lot.
I'll disagree, dog. I'll disagree because I'm gonna say that a lot of them went undiagnosed, and it was just like, you got a sprained knee. It's pretty badly sprained, and then
let me pause that right there. Let me pause that.
You can't.
Maybe yes, right, and maybe if it wasn't a torn ACL. If we're talking about like a really torn MCL or something like that,
you see that though.
You'll feel that. No. You'll feel that. And maybe what Joel is saying is that a lot of guys didn't go get MRIs and we're like, my shit's just fucked up. I'm gonna ice this bitch down. I'm not gonna play for 2 months.
I mean professionals. Oh, it's not their choice. Like if they go down, they go into the X-ray. It's not
Okay.
You go into the X-ray room.
Sure, for sure.
We know if it's torn or sprained or
absolutely off rip.
So do you think that they maybe classified anything to do with the knee to be like a sprain or a knee injury?
Bro, if they see a tear, it's a tear.
So you're saying that's more prevalent now than it used to be?
You're seeing it.
It has to be.
You're seeing it. It's the numbers are. Check the numbers. It's insane, and it's because now with. Check the numbers to ACLs maybe 10, 15 years ago to now. The thing is...
let's do from the late 90s up.
The thing is now, with social media, everybody is a businessman. Everybody's a CEO.
Yeah, for sure.
So now a lot of trainers are going independently.
I mean, I'm sitting with one.
Guys, yeah. Right. Guys are not training with the staffs anymore as much as they used to.
No, for
sure. They're getting their own trainer outside. They're like, hey, I got my own guy that takes care. I got my own off-season guy.
Right.
And... you can do that, it is what it is, but now you're getting hurt because of it, because now there aren't as many professionals. Guys aren't really being qualified to do that now.
Let me ask you this, P. And by the way, if you don't know who we're sitting with today, this is David Puello. He's a VP Performance, one of the best world-class trainers in this fucking state. And I say that with all due respect because my man is really bringing it. So this dude knows what he's talking about when we're talking about these injuries. It's not the main topic of the podcast, but this is just where we happen to stumble upon, and we'll get to the rest later.
Before we jump off this topic, because I looked it up.
Right.
Something interesting here that I just found, no idea, winwithin.com. This is a blog that's posted, but so I don't know how credible it is or anything, but this paragraph says, concerning ACL's propensity in recent years, other factors include differentiated playing surfaces such as turf versus grass. That can affect the knee's biomechanics. Yeah. Additionally, it's important to note that the increase in ACL tear prevalence is also elevated today in young athletes. The causes for this phenomenon can include those mentioned above, but sport specialization at a young age is likely to be the most significant factor.
And that's something we've definitely seen.
Kids who specialize in a single sport at a younger age are far more elevated risk of injury, including ACL tears. So
absolutely.
To your point, and
if you think about
mobility or flexibility or
it's what it
athleticism.
It's really that, because if you think about it, when let's say youth sports got professional, right? We saw a big movement in AAU basketball. We saw a big movement in youth football. We saw those big movements in youth baseball. Like all three of the major sports in the U.S. were like, hey, we got to start drilling these kids and only letting these kids play these sports and drilling this into them so that they could become professionals later on. So maybe it's that those professionals today are suffering the consequences of not being trained right at that early age just to get that to that point.
I think it's that, and also it's just choosing the right professional. That's the thing.
That's a huge part.
Guys are literally going to anybody.
That's a huge part.
Anybody. And then it's one of those things where, let's say you become, a quarterback for whoever, and you make it, quote unquote. You want to bring the guys with you. Hey, absolutely. I'm gonna give you a job. You're gonna train me. Hey, you're gonna take pictures for me. Hey, you're the
video guy.
But that guy's never done video. That guy's never took pictures. That guy's never trained.
Yeah.
You're just bringing people with you.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what's happening. Patrick Mahomes' trainer, he met him when he was in 4th grade. So he brought him with him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And he had to learn to be a trainer.
So exactly kind of taught himself, learned videos. It's not, I'm not gonna say he's not a professional. I'm just that's part of the problem.
It's not the same.
Guys are straying away from the organizational guys,
for sure,
and the programs that organization has for you, and you're straying away getting their own guys, and that's not a problem as long as those guys are qualified and doing their job, and that's where
No, for sure. Line. And even if we tie it into like the Chiefs and the Niners, right, for the Super Bowl this Sunday, which we're going to talk in depth about, and then we're also going to talk a lot about betting. So if you
make sure to like, comment, and subscribe also.
Yeah, that's Joel's job. When we look at these two teams, right, and you look at the best players on those teams, you talk about Mahomes earlier and the type of training he does,
the best player in the world, by the way.
I would argue it's probably CMC, the other guy on the other side who does really everything because he's so fucking well-rounded, dog. Like, you see that guy without a shirt, and it's like, bro, this guy should be playing 18 sports at once because of how bad, raw in shape he is. You know what I mean?
I've never seen him throw a football parallel to the ground, so Patrick Mahomes is the best player in the world. But yes, you're right.
But you get what I'm saying? Like, the difference is between those two is that, like, Mahomes was probably specialized in his pitching, coming up as a pitcher, and then transitioning into quarterback, kind of a natural lateral movement there. CMC was probably doing everything since the age of 6 in football. They're like, hey, kid, you're the best player in the state. We're just going to give you the ball, run to the end zone. You know, and I look at CMC and I'm like, dog, that guy's probably doing some hella crazy training because he takes a lot of punishment and he still produces at an uncanny rate in order to put himself in the top 5 for MVP as a running back.
He is an incredible athlete.
Come on, bro.
Incredible athlete. He's also very, very, very strong. But a lot of that is like just willpower. Like the beating that he takes, that's just he's willing to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not training doesn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like
you don't think so, dog? Because like, how much does he weigh? Check how much he weighs, Joel.
It's like
because he looks very lean. There's bottom heavy.
Guys, all running back position. To play that position, you have to be a little crazy. all running backs take beatings.
Yeah, for sure.
We are just noticing it more with CMC just because he does a lot for his team. Catches the ball out of the backfield. He obviously runs the ball, east and west, north, south. He does everything for that team. So, and he had an insane season. Actually, not even a season. Since he got traded last year, he's been on
My dog's been on fire.
5'11", 205.
Bro, okay, so he's not really a big guy, right? Because I'm 5'10", Jay, you're probably around the same height.
He's a big guy. He's a big, strong guy.
He's a strong dude, you know what I'm saying? And I think that gives, again, maybe Mahomes is the better athlete, right? Athletically, he can do a little bit more than CMC. But if we're talking about, like, strength in order to be in his position, dog, CMC got everybody beat, dog.
I might argue the opposite. I might say CMC is the better athlete, but Mahomes is the better football player. Just because of what Mahomes is able to
vice
do.
versa.
I think it's backwards. Yeah.
CMC is the better football player. Mahomes pitched, bro.
That's true.
Mahomes could be in the majors athlete. Today, dog.
Mahomes is a better athlete. CMC is the better football player.
Yeah. Okay, so
I'm
we
still
all
taking Mahomes on my team first.
Well, imagine Mahomes decided like, hey, you know what? I want to fuck around and play baseball, dog. I'm willing to put myself in the free agency as a baseball player and go. Whoever wants to sign me, I'm here to pitch.
He might be a mid baseball player. He could do it.
He could do it.
He could definitely do it.
He could do it.
He could do it. But
he would get the opportunity off rip.
Yeah, because of who he is. I just don't think he'd have success. This has been proven. The Tim Tebow's of the world, the Jordans of the world. These guys, they don't have success with baseball. It's just been proven. Dog, anybody who tries to dabble, it doesn't work.
Let me tell you something, Jay. Dog, you and I, we know a lot of people take baseball serious, right? We know that this guy takes baseball serious. Sure. I've never met somebody who is more like like fine-tooth comb with baseball than this guy right here, dog.
Every other sport, yes, not with that. Patrick Mahomes would probably be decent.
Damn, you don't think he'd make a starting rotation?
No.
All right, maybe that's a little bit hard.
Here's the thing about that, like, because I tell everybody, it's like, if he would, he'd be getting paid so much more. He just would.
But, bro, he got paid really good to be in Kansas City.
He had to win a lot. He had to do a lot to... Yeah, he did. He got 500 for like 13 years.
I get it, but that man's on a mission to be like, one of the greatest ever.
Look, Kyler Murray got drafted 4th overall in the entire draft. Yeah. He chose football. Why do you think that is? Because he was the 4th or 5th overall in the entire draft.
Yeah, maybe he couldn't cut it.
He chose football for a reason. It doesn't work out for them very well.
Yeah. Damn,
it doesn't work out for them very well. There's not one guy who has dabbled in baseball in another sport that has had success. Not one.
It's only Dion and Bo.
they didn't have success. Like, depending
What's
on what
success?
your level. Well, your level.
What's success?
Dion.
Come on.
Dion was an above average baseball. Dion, yes.
He helped multiple teams win, dog.
Dion, yes.
Okay.
Bo Jackson was not above average. He was a freak. He wasn't above average.
Yeah, but at that time, Kansas City.
Yes.
At that time, Kansas City, like we don't remember it, right? Because obviously we were super young. But at that time, Kansas City was pretty good, dog. They were a pretty good
Kansas
team.
City Royals?
Yeah.
They were the bottom of the barrel, bro.
Bro, they had fucking George Brett, dog, on there.
Bottom of the barrel. You gonna put them against the Yankees and the Red Sox?
No, come
bottom
on.
of the barrel.
Definitely against the Red Sox in that era. Absolutely. Wouldn't put them maybe against the Yankees. I'll give you that.
Yeah, bottom of the barrel.
Let's talk a little bit
Dion,
about...
yes, though.
For sure.
I was wrong. Dion, yes.
Come on. He's the only one that can check that box.
And also, and I'm glad we said that and we agreed on that. Have you heard him talk about baseball? He said that's the one thing that drove him crazy. He couldn't handle it.
Because it's hard. It's the hardest thing. It's the hardest thing to do, dog. It's the hardest thing to do. Hit that freaking ball over and over again. Dion played for the 49ers, dog. Looked raw in those jerseys. I'm not going to lie with the bandana.
Played in a Super Bowl and a World Series.
Wild.
He played in a football game and a baseball game the same day.
Dog. And he
That's nuts.
And he played well, dog. Again, like he contributed. You know what I mean? In both sports, he contributed. The 49ers, they're the favorite, right? I think the betting Hard Rock still has it at -2.
Yep.
Okay. The Niners are the favorite. Give me your argument on why they should be the favorite. Because when I look at experience and I look at this game and I look at who's achieved more, let's say, everything points to the Chiefs, but yet everybody's putting the money on the Niners, which makes me believe, like, all right, how does Vegas see this and why is it swinging that way?
So, I mean, if you know football, watch football, on paper, number one, doesn't mean anything. On paper, the Niners are the better team. You can argue that the defense is better than the Chiefs defense, even though the Chiefs defense has been lights out.
But I got to stop you there because they were without Chris Jones for a while, right?
And they still handled business.
He missed like 6 weeks.
They've been lights out. Well, it was to a contract dispute.
But still, him not being there and then getting into game shape and then being like, I'm at that level where I'm going to perform consistently.
And Patrick Mahomes is the reason they are where
Absolutely.
they are. But you can still argue that the Niners defense is so much better.
Yes.
Because of what they've done. And on offense, just the amount of weapons that they have is, if you put their offense against the Chiefs offense, it's a no doubter you're going to go with the Niners. It's just with the weapons. Chiefs receivers just recently started catching the football, as of 3, 4, 5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce didn't have a Travis Kelce year.
He hasn't yet even had a Travis. He hasn't even had a Travis Kelce game, dog, because he had 2 drops.
He had 11 catches last game.
Yeah, but you know what? You also got targeted 20-something times. You know what I mean? So, like, yeah, you made the most of that night, right? You made the most of that night, but it wasn't like
and that goes
the
to
Kelce
show,
that we've seen dominate.
That goes to show how one-dimensional they've become.
Yeah.
Because he can't spread the ball around like Purdy can with the Niners. This is why they're
he has more options.
Now, the way I see it, though, and you can call me crazy, but the way I see that -2 as a compliment to Mahomes, because that the spread would be so much different if Mahomes or anybody else would be the quarterback for the Chiefs. It would sure. It would probably be -7, -10, whatever. Because if Mahomes is not the quarterback for the Chiefs, that Niners team is probably going to trample the Chiefs. But because Patrick Mahomes is there, it's at -2.
Here's why I don't like that, P, right? And Jay, you jump in here and tell me if I'm crazy. The thing with that is we got to look at what has made Mahomes' success be super successful, right? A lot of that is credited to Andy Reid and how he has initiated and implemented that offense to maximize whatever Mahomes brings to the table, right? And then he's put pieces around him to say, all right, let's get busy this way. And it's worked for the Chiefs, dog. Like, they've made, 4 Super Bowls now? Like,
5? Is it 4?
It's 4 in 5 years.
5 AFC championships.
Right. 5 AFC championships games and 4 Super Bowls in 5 years.
That's nuts.
That's really consistent. That's Tom Brady-ish type shit, right? So maybe Tom Brady doesn't have the best season. Mahomes didn't have the best season this year. Numbers, this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, when they needed to win games and he had to pull games out, Mahomes was always the most efficient player on the field. Mahomes was always the better player on the field. So then when you go into the Super Bowl and you're trying to put $100 on a game, right? And you're like, Niners -2? That looks great. It's like, all right, you got to chill, because you also have to recognize that in this type of game, experience matters for a lot, dog. And when you look at that, Niners have really good experience too because Kyle Shanahan has made the most out of that franchise.
I don't know, guys. I'm gonna bring this podcast to a screeching halt right now.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say, I mean, to see Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, the reigning, defending world champions of the world internationally of this world. All right.
The U.S. world.
And they're 2-point underdogs. Credit to San Francisco, but this is also a team that barely beat the Lions in the NFC Championship.
It's a good Lion team, though.
Barely
real good
beat
Lions
the
team.
Green Bay Packers in the game before
really good
them.
Team.
You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of question marks there still. Can they get it done in the biggest of games? Because last year they had moments too, and it came down against the Eagles, and they got their asses handed to them by the
They
Eagles.
didn't have a quarterback though.
Kicked
That game.
Granted,
True.
they didn't have Brock Purdy.
True.
First play, he was out.
They have
maybe-
they have a lot,
maybe
they have a lot more
McCaffrey had to throw a
experience.
football.
Yes,
He had
that's
to-
what I'm saying, cuz like
the
feel like
fact-
no respect.
But the fact, to me, the fact that it's not an even line or even like maybe +1 was wild to me because
And
it's like you're gonna give. I mean, looking at that, bro,
It's wild.
As a betting man,
Listen,
I have
look
to
at
say
it-
I like
look at-
Patrick Mahomes as an
Thank you.
underdog.
I look at it as I'm gonna make money. Like, I'm gonna bet Mahomes.
Off
Dude, you're
rip.
gonna give me 2 points, dog.
Exactly. So
I'm taking that money line.
I'm glad you said that, and people are gonna watch this because they're gonna obviously think I'm lying or whatever. But I got receipts last week, and a lot of my friends know I trolled them because I told them this last week. Yo, who you taking in the game today? I don't bet against Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Oh, but the Ravens this, the Ravens that. I'm like, yeah, the Ravens this and the Ravens that. They're great on defense. They're amazing on defense. They made the Niners look like they're bitch on defense.
Right.
Lamar's out of his mind.
They shut us out, kicked our asses.
He got weapons now. Mark Andrews
sure.
is coming back. All type of shit.
Yeah.
But Mahomes is on the other side.
No.
And I had one, I'm not gonna say his name. I had one friend tell me, like, yo, like, what do you see? And I'm like, I don't see anything. I see Mahomes. I see number 15. How's he? Bro, like, they wanted me to tell them, oh, he's going to do it like this. And I don't know how the fuck he's going to. He doesn't even know how the fuck he's going to do it.
Doesn't matter.
I did say this, though. I said, the Chiefs' defense has been very underrated.
Mm-hmm.
They have been playing a really good football. But because Baltimore was so good, because the Niners' defense was so good, Bills' defense was really, really good. The Cowboys' defense was taking shit away. Like, those defense kind of overshadowed what the Chiefs have been doing consistently the whole year.
Yeah.
They held Lamar for 7 points.
Yeah. Crazy. 6 rushes.
7 points.
Shut it down.
That last field goal was like a petty.
It's
They
whatever.
scored 7 points.
Yeah.
7 points.
You made a good point.
You're not gonna beat Patrick Mahomes with 7 points.
No, never. And not running the ball and just giving them time of
7
possession all
points.
over. That was the bigger factor in that game, right? Like something that you mentioned, Chiefs defense has been underrated. Especially
Extremely.
like this stretch of like
Extremely.
the last 7 games, right? Because what you want to do heading into the NFL playoffs, dog, is always have momentum. You always want to have momentum. You want to say, cuz we shut these guys down. We got 4 turnovers in this game. We got 3 sacks in this game. Like momentum building into the
Play
into the
defense and
playoffs.
run the ball in the playoffs.
The Chiefs defense has gone everywhere and performed. Went to Buffalo, performed. Went to Baltimore, performed, right? Niners defense got punched in the mouth.
A few times.
Several times.
A few times,
Got
yeah.
punched in the mouth really hard by Detroit. And had it not been for the inexperience of Dan Campbell, right? For letting that game plan get away from him, I'm sure that a better experienced coach would have beat that team and be like, yo, we got these guys on the ropes. And let's put these guys to sleep.
Maybe.
I'm not to say that the Niners would have lost like 49-7. No, they're a great team, dog. They would have came back and they would have made that game interesting. But they just got punched in the mouth early.
I don't like that though, just because that's what they've been all year. So they were who they are all year.
But let me
like,
tell you, Pete, like when you're
is.
doing that as a team, dog, like that makes you inconsistent, right? Because then you're always playing behind the 8 ball where you know what I'm saying? Like you're struggling and maybe you have it on offense that day. Maybe you don't have an offense that day. Maybe Purdy's really good that day. Maybe Purdy is really
He was
bad.
really good in the second half.
You know what I mean?
that
And
game.
he was so much better in the second half in that
was
game. But
amazing.
we've also seen games where he's been totally shit when they're behind the 8 ball. It hasn't been a lot, but we've seen it. For me, I think that the defense is going to be a big part of this game, and the over and under shows
both
it.
defenses.
Right? It's 47.5 right now.
It's going to stay under that.
I think it's going to stay under because
stay under that because
Mahomes has been shut out in the second half a couple of times also.
Also, though, well, a lot of that is him having the ball and literally managing his lead. The game against Baltimore, he went up 17-0, 17-7. Patrick Mahomes is the best player for a lot of reasons. One of those reasons, he's really smart. That 28-3 Super Bowl was not going to happen to Patrick Mahomes. No. I'm not giving Lamar back this football.
Right.
That he's going to be our MVP. I'm not giving him this football. I get the ball back in the second half. I'm running this clock to if you get the ball back, you're going to get 5-6 seconds. You're going to have to do something crazy.
Even if they walk away with 3 points, that's what he was going to do.
Points, I'm winning.
Yeah,
I'm winning. You know why? Because I get the ball back second half. You have 3 points. I can go score 7.
Yeah.
It's a 4-point swing. We just wasted 8 minutes off the clock.
Are you going with the over or the under?
I don't know. I'm looking at some historical data here to see if I lead one way or another. So the last when the Chiefs and the Niners played back in 2020, it was a 31-20 final score, which
31-20.
Yeah, but the personnel was different. Tyreek Hill was on that team.
True.
It's a lot of different factors.
Then the following year, Tampa, Kansas City, 31-9. So that would have been the under.
No line though.
Then the following year was the Rams in Cincinnati, so no Patrick Mahomes at all there. That was 23-20. So depending what that line was, I don't know what that line might have been. But last year, Kansas City, Philadelphia, 38-35.
Philadelphia, but Philly was a high-scoring team.
I'm glad you said that. Philadelphia's defense fucking sucked. It was overrated. And this year they got exposed.
I think that game that game got out of hand.
I don't know why the Chiefs allowed so many points, but
I think that game got out of hand.
Do you think this is going to be a defensive battle? They both have good defenses.
I think they know, or they're going into this game thinking, if we allow too much, we're gonna be the team that loses.
Yeah, because
Purdy and his weapons can get in the end zone. And then Patrick Mahomes, like he's
going to find a way.
He's going to find a way.
You know what it is too? Like for the Niners, you mentioned clock management, right? For Mahomes and how good he is knowing that, hey, I have a lead. This is how I'm going to be able to cut this time off. The Niners can rely on their running game.
Yeah, they can.
They can rely. So even if the lead is 3, they're going to say, F it, we're going to fucking run this ball over and over and over again.
You don't think Pacheco can compete?
When 3, yeah, I was thinking.
Hold on.
3 points isn't enough with... Again,
it depends on the time and the circumstance. But what I'm saying is like...
No, not really, bro. Patrick Mahomes, 13 seconds.
Yes.
13 seconds.
But
13 seconds.
13 seconds, yes.
Tell that to Josh Allen.
Yeah, for sure. But here's the difference. Buffalo's defense has no real playmakers.
My brother,
that were healthy.
An NFL game?
I get it. It's a lot.
This was last year. This was not this year.
I get it. No,
this was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. I know. Trust me, Vic knows.
13 seconds.
Shout out to my boy Vic, man. But yeah, dog, like, I just think that when it comes to that part, you can rely on CMC to say, you know what? Hey, guess what, bro? Today's a day we're going to have to give you 35 carries. Because if we take a lead, even if it's a small lead, we're going to rely on you to get first downs. Yeah. And he can get them. You know, even if it's not a direct, it could be a swing pass, you know what I'm saying?
The big if, though, is if they have the lead.
Oof.
That's your if. Like, what if they don't? What if the game's tied?
Bring up first to score. Let's see what those odds are. Yeah. That's a good point. I think the first team that blinks, not necessarily scores, the first team that blinks and goes a punt, 2 punts, 2 drives without scoring, then you're really going to see that team suffer because that team is going to be playing with pressure. Maybe the score might not be so disparaging, but you're going to be playing with some pressure to keep up. And both of these offenses have shown that they can ignite for any certain reason.
To me, those are both keys to the game for either team. If you're the Niners, you want Patrick Mahomes to play from behind.
Yeah.
Get in there, first drive, go down the field, score 7.
Yeah.
You want Patrick Mahomes to play from behind.
Yeah.
All right? Make it hard on him all the time. If the game is tied or he goes up, then now you're behind the 8 ball. If you're the Chiefs, don't let them control the clock. Don't let CMC run all over you. Control the clock, get that play action going, because then you're going to be in trouble. All right? Because there's just too many playmakers. Ayuk, Debo, Kittle, CMC himself. Like, it's just too many playmakers that they have. And Brock Purdy is a very good quarterback.
You think Debo's going to be 100%?
Whether he is or not,
he's a threat. We're in the Super Bowl. The injury. Talk to me about the injury.
We're in the Super Bowl. Forget the injury. we're in the Super Bowl. The reason I say that is because at this point in time, everybody is hurt. Somebody is more 100%. Hurt than you. Everybody is 100%. All right, so like that's not. Last year Patrick Mahomes played with a sprained ankle. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He played just like he played. So yes, Deebo Samuel is going to be good. If he's on the field, it's because he's going to be good.
He's going to be a saint.
Assume he's 100% because he is. Everybody is hurt this time of year. Everyone.
You got something on the
first? They don't have the first touchdown score on the Hard Rock.
I did see touchdown scores. First touchdown, CMC is plus 325, Debo's plus 750, and Brandon Ayuk is plus 900, Kittle's plus 1,000.
First touchdown or anytime?
First touchdown for the 49ers.
I mean, for those odds, I kind of like Ayuk.
If you have to pick one.
You know what I mean?
To pick, what was it again?
It's CMC at plus 325, Samuel at plus 70, Ayuk at plus 900, and Kittle at plus 1,000.
I can see just a big opening play for Ayuk, something like catch the Chiefs defense slipping and then like make them tighten up or something.
They're not going to allow anything deep. They haven't.
No, it wouldn't be. It would be like honestly, a broken play, like a slant across the middle where like the safety bites on it or something and just he takes off or something like that. You know, I can just because that's a lot of what Purdy's game is. He's not really. He can air it out. He can put it out there, but a lot of Kyle Shanahan's offense is, that get it out quick and get it in your skill players' hands. Let them make the play.
Yeah.
I would probably lean more to either like a Kittle in the red zone.
That's what I was thinking.
Or a big run by CMC.
Two reasons why I like Kittle.
A run over the Kittle.
Two reasons why I like Kittle. Number one, because I think they have to get him involved. He hasn't been so involved because of the amount of weapons that they have, right? And I think they have to be like, all right, this is our best matchup. Whoever is going up against Kittle is not going up against CMC, is not going, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is their best matchup. And if they get into that early ends, like red zone space, I could see them targeting Kittle and throwing one up for him and letting him get a good advantage.
He's just too pivotal, like important for the blocking. Like he's just such a good blocker that like they need him to
stay in. So I see the big
run. That's what I'm saying. I see the big run. If they get in the red zone, I see a Kittle thing. Mm-hmm. But like if I had to bet, I think I would go with a big run on CMC or even a small run in the end, like in the red zone within the 10-yard line. With CMC, just because it's the blocking and the schemes that they use for blocking and run plays, little shovel pass plays that they do.
CMC is probably it.
I can also see, I mean, we're talking just first touchdown. I can definitely see it being a Travis Kelce touchdown.
Yeah, anytime touchdown.
He's minus 275. That's why I asked if it's first or anytime. Like if we're betting first touchdown. If we're betting anytime, I think the easiest money is CMC.
For sure. But the odds are really bad at that, dog. They're 275. Minus 275.
That's not bad.
You want to parlay that a little bit there.
You're going to have to parlay it. You're going to have to parlay it. Because let's look at the Chiefs real quick. Isaiah Pacheco, first touchdown plus 575. Wow. Kelce plus 800. Rashee Rice plus 900. Mahomes plus 1750. But that's him running into the end zone.
Yeah, that's
Mahomes.
not going to happen.
That's not going to happen. So I would look at Rice isn't a bad pick there, dog. For the money, plus 900, $10 gets you what? $90?
Just going off what we've seen. It's go-to guys, Kelce in the end zone, in the red zone. So I would go Kelce or Isaiah Pacheco.
Okay.
I see Isaiah Pacheco. Like it just depends on the situation. If they get in the red zone, I definitely see a Kelce.
Pacheco's a really good bet this weekend for an anytime touchdown, dog. Minus 120.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and right?
And it's over on rushing yards. Probably 62 or something.
Let's see what his rushing yards. As a matter of fact, let's bring that thing up. Bam. Pacheco's at over 65 and a half.
65. So it's at 65, yeah.
66. So he would have to gain 66 on the yards. Mahomes at 26.5.
So here's the thing.
I don't like Mahomes at 27 yards. That's a lot, dog. That means he's scrambling a lot.
Here we go. I got it.
But that's what Mahomes does. He extends plays. But I like Pacheco because I have the Chiefs winning. I'm never going to bet against this guy.
Dang, you got to say that, Water. You got to say that for the end, dog.
If they, no, I still got something for you at the end.
All right.
If they are going to go and win this game, they have to run that ball. So
yeah, for sure.
It's going to go over.
All right, I see that. What about McCaffrey's yards? He's 89 and a half over and under. Debo's pretty good, actually, 16 and a half. I like that.
I think the McCaffrey over on 89 rushing yards.
Mm-hmm.
I would take the under on that just because, again, so many weapons. He has to get enough touches to get to, you know what I'm saying?
To 90 yards, unless he breaks one.
Unless he breaks one.
If he breaks one early, fuck, man. That'll put him like at 40 plus easy, right?
Right, yeah. But
And still, he still has to gain 40-something yards.
Again,
I really like Samuel there because
exactly.
something that San Francisco does a lot is run Samuel from like left to right or right to left, where he comes around and they'll fake it sometimes, and sometimes they give it to him. But they'll give it to him, and that boy will take off for 15 yards and let's go, baby, give it to him one more time.
In between, you have the slants and the Ayuks and the Kittles, and it's gonna be tough for him to get over 89. I'm not saying he can't do it. Obviously, McCaffrey could do it.
For sure.
I just think in the Super Bowl with that kind of coordinator on the other side, preventing big plays. I'm sure that's their biggest thing is, we're not gonna allow the big plays.
For sure.
So I would go under on Christian McCaffrey's rushing yards.
Okay.
Over on the Isaiah Pacheco.
65.
And definitely anytime touchdown Christian McCaffrey.
I like to
And
get
anytime
little,
Pacheco too, dog. 120 minus 120 is not
I like
bad.
to get a little wild here.
CMC is more.
How about the quarterbacks?
Ooh.
Mahomes is a little high, 26.5 for Mahomes.
That's high as hell.
12.5 for Purdy.
I would go over 12.5 Purdy. That's only one
Little scramble run, right?
Yeah.
One pressure.
Yeah.
They bring like a safety.
But how often? But this is my thing with him.
He had 50 yards.
One play.
Yes,
one play.
dog.
That's one scramble.
I know, but what I'm saying is like he usually when he rolls right or left, he's throwing that bitch, dog. Because the 49er receivers are so smart that they move with him
Here's
a lot.
Here's the thing. This particular bet isn't strategic.
If you have it parlayed, it is.
Well, I'm not saying parlay. I'm just saying individual.
That's when he said crazy, I was like, I wonder if he means like parlayed it or not.
You're just hoping for a broken play, which is probably going to happen with these kind of playmakers. You're hoping for a broken play. He did it a lot against the Lions without hesitation. By the way, he did it like if he does this on the norm. He did it against Green Bay. He did it as well. So you're just the entire game. You're praying for one broken play to get those 12 yards. And it's very, very possible, especially the way he's been scrambling as of late.
Yeah, I can see that.
That could happen. What about, all right, so these are obviously all the traditional ones. What about some of the...
Let's get some fun ones, dog.
Some of the props for the full game. What do you think about the national anthem? What do we got? We got Reba McEntire singing it this year?
I don't even know.
I don't like that lady, dog.
Dang, what you got against Reba, homie?
I don't know, man. I don't like that lady, dog.
I think it's her. And I think I saw something that said to slam the over on the national anthem.
What's the bet? How long it'll take?
Yeah, how long it'll take. It's like usually like 2 minutes. Let me see.
I'm gonna say under, dog.
Under 2 minutes is a long
that
time.
lady's. Let me really be careful with what I say here. She's an experienced lady, right? Woman. So maybe she doesn't want to be up there for that long. You know what I'm saying? She's thinking, I get it. She's in there, get the check, bam, bam, bam. Here you go. See my face. Go see my movies and watch my shows. You know what I mean? And then I think she gets out of there quick.
I think it's 90 seconds, a minute and a half.
Minute and a half? Fuck.
Damn, it might go over that.
It might go
Just
over.
because, they have like those little parts in the, like when
or they wait and
they wait. And it's like boom, 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 boom.
I don't want to time that either, though.
Yeah.
Like, come on,
well,
baby,
you better
right.
fucking time that shit. When does it start, though? Like, when do you start the timer? Like, when...
Oh, the moment she sings a note. The moment she says,
like, do the lights go off time?
No.
The first word
the moment she says, starts to say a word, that's when the timer starts.
I'm not putting my money
on.
Hell no.
I'm going over, bro. I'm taking the over.
Head or tails? What's head or tails?
I'm going to go heads.
I go tails never fails, dog.
Opening coin toss. What do you think it's going to be, heads or tails?
Aren't they doing the Chiefs logo? They're doing the logo.
Yeah, but it's going to be tails.
Logo.
They're going to go one side is heads and the other one's tails.
Yeah.
Heads. I'm going heads. All right. Let's go to the halftime show because we got Usher, baby. So we got some songs that
if you don't bring out TLC, it's
we're trying to figure out what he's gonna play. The lead right now is right.
He's gonna play.
That's 10,000 to 1. But then they also got DJ Got Us Falling in Love, OMG, You Make Me Wanna.
No, for sure OMG.
He's not playing You Make Me Wanna.
For sure, he's not playing that.
He's not playing that.
Yeah,
I would bet that he's not playing that.
Yeah, I'll bet my money that he doesn't play that, and he plays OMG.
Yeah,
that song is like too popular.
OMG is
he's playing the hits.
Like third.
Because if he does,
maybe like a confession.
What was the song?
Love in This Club?
No. Damn.
I mean, he's not gonna throw it back to like Nice and Slow.
No, but he's got confession. I see a confession.
I can see that.
Confessions Part 2 on here.
I can see that.
Yeah, I can see a Confessions.
I can see that. What was the?
He could probably open up with Confessions.
And do you see Alicia Keys coming out?
Yes.
Ooh.
Anything that has a strong feature, I like it because she's very popular, right? It's in Vegas.
Ooh.
She's affiliated with Rock Nation, right? And Rock Nation is the one that puts on the Super Bowl talents and stuff like that for halftime.
I can see.
So I can see that.
I can see that happening. All right, last one on the halftime.
What's the line on that one on my boo?
It's
that's a good one, dog. That's a good one. Oh, right.
It's up there, minus 200.
I was
like Confessions.
2 minus 2, so that's kind of favorite.
That's up there.
Yeah, it's up there.
What's my way again?
The underdog is Thinking of You, Moving Mountains, Boyfriend, You Got
None
It
of those
Bad,
are being
Burn,
played.
and Nice and Slow. Those are all
They're not good playing.
Those are all plus money if you want something like an
Also,
underdog.
Usher's catalog is insane, so those songs aren't.
The total,
he's gonna stick to the hits.
The over/under total for the songs that he does is 8.5.
I don't even know where. Like
that's a lot.
I feel like
I'm gonna go under.
I'm going under for sure,
I
dog.
feel like was it the game or?
You know why I say under? Because this dude's a dancer, dog. There's gonna be at least a song where he goes
Solos
break, boom, bam, bam, and the band plays, and this guy's like popping and locking, dog. Yeah, dog, and like six girls come out behind him, and he dances.
Nah, he's still ripped. Did you not see him in the new Skims commercial?
Of course not.
Yeah, I saw.
And I'm sure that guy better be ripped, dog. Come on,
that
dog.
guy's still.
He has an image to keep, dog.
Bro, he's drinking baby blood for sure or something. That guy looks like he's 21 years old still, guy. I swear to God.
I mean, he lived with Diddy for a while, dog. So whatever.
All right, so then one of the last ones I want to ask you guys. This is probably the most popular one at the end of the game.
Let's go. Gatorade
What color is
color.
the Gatorade going to be?
All right. Well, I got two.
I'm
colors.
gonna text my homie. I'll find out.
I got two colors. If it's the Chiefs, they're going orange. For sure, Chiefs are going orange.
Oof, okay.
If the Chiefs win?
Yeah, if the Chiefs win, the Gatorade's going to be orange. If the Niners win, I got a feeling it's going to be yellow. I don't know why. I got a feeling it's going to be yellow.
Those are both good money right there. You didn't go with any of the favorites. So the favorite is purple at plus 225.
No chance.
Then you got blue at plus 275.
Okay.
Yellow, green, lime. Those three all together, plus 450. So that's what you had said.
All right.
Orange is plus 550.
I like that.
And then you got red, pink, 450.
What about the blue frost?
Blue? It would be blue. Would be plus 275.
I see the blue frost.
It's a
Or
popular
no
color.
Gatorade bath plus 4,000.
No way.
No, it's gonna
Come on.
be. They might miss the coach, but it's gonna be a bad blessing.
Yeah, somebody,
for sure.
Somebody's gonna.
So
get
does that
bath.
still count even if they don't hit the coach?
Yeah, no, there's still Gatorade being dumped. So,
I'm texting my boy.
I like
I'm
those
hitting
takes.
that one.
I like those takes,
hitting
but for some reason, man, I just like the classic. The classic blue here.
I don't know. Red is classic. If we're talking about classic,
Yeah, but
Red is
blue, man,
classic.
there's something about that blue
I went
Gatorade.
with the blue frost too.
all right.
The reason I say that is because the frost is very popular in the
It
NFL.
is. It is a very popular.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying
But I
bet
can
on
see.
it.
I can see the orange. I can
Very,
see the
very
orange.
popular in the NFL.
All right, so let's do a parlay real quick. A Sports with SoSo parlay that you guys can follow. We're going to put one together for you. Let's keep it a little three-picker. All right, let's keep it a little three-picker. Let's pick the game. P, we're going to let you pick the game. You're the distinguished guest here. Talk to me. Who are you taking?
How long has Patrick Mahomes been in the NFL?
He's been there for like 7 years now, 8 years.
7 years. Never once have I lost $1 betting on this.
Let's go. Let's go.
I've never lost
Rolling with my
$8.
homies.
Let's go. Rolling with my homies,
Never
dog.
lost $1 on this man, and it's not going to
All
start
right, so
on
we're
Sunday.
taking the Chiefs +2.
I'm taking the Chiefs +2.
You're
taking
gonna
the Chiefs money line.
You take-
I'm
okay,
taking
that's
the
what I was gonna
under.
ask.
I'm taking
Money line is
Mahomes
plus 110.
over. Anything that has Mahomes in it, I'm putting my money on.
All right, so we're locking in Chiefs +2. Not only is it a great bet, right? If the Niners do pull it off, I do feel like it's gonna be like
But bang bang. Yeah.
a game winner, like
yeah.
hey,
It could be a
touchdown
field
to
goal.
win by one, or a
Yeah.
field goal to win by 1 or 2, whatever and whatever. I like that. Anytime you're betting with the plus, I like that.
Always,
Always, right?
especially when that plus is Patrick Mahomes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, dog. All right, so we got the Niners there.
For future bets too, guys. If you ever see Patrick Mahomes plus anything, take him.
Yes, and we're gonna put these bets on our Sports with SoSo Twitter page, so you guys can also have it there for reference. And when we hit these bets, we're gonna tell you we stole you. So we all in agreement here that we're gonna take the under.
No, they know I'm gonna tell them I told you so.
For sure, right? We're gonna take the under. You're good with the under.
Oh hell yeah.
You're good with the under.
me the under.
All right, cool. Joel, you're the last one to pick here. What's your last bet to add to this parlay?
If I had to throw in one last bet into this, it would be probably Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. I like
That's
that.
almost like a give unless he like gets hurt the first players.
Oh God, why would you say that?
I'm just saying, like, it's almost guaranteed. Why would you
put that out there in the universe?
It's almost like it's such a good bet. Like,
I feel most comfortable throwing that. If we're gonna do a parlay, like I feel like that wouldn't bust.
You know how you always have like parlays? You have the one that you know it's gonna happen, then the other two, like that's the ones like, all right, this one's gonna happen. Yeah, and then these other two are gonna have to work.
I like any CMC anytime.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one, though.
Very, very good.
And look, and if you're looking really for bang for your buck, I think we pointed out Pacheco going over, right? And Pacheco anytime touchdown, minus 190. That's not bad, dog, because we know that he's a big part of the Chiefs offense, probably been their most consistent player besides Patrick Mahomes.
I don't like that line, though. Minus 190, though. I don't like that line. I mean,
120.
Either way, like it's.
I want some plus money.
I want plus money. Yeah, I want plus money because like he didn't score against the Ravens.
True. And that was a high scoring game.
Exactly, he didn't score, but Kelsey is more of a
more likely.
Yeah, if you're gonna anything negative or it's favored, I will go with like Kelsey.
Damn, dog. Let's see what our bet would get us. Let's see. Let me add it up. Anytime touchdown. All right.
Well, what did you take? Did you take the money line?
So we took the money line. We took the under. No, we took the under, the plus, and McCaffrey.
No, take the money line.
All right, let's do the money line.
Take the money line. I'm telling you guys, Mahomes.
I don't think it'll let you do that on this particular app. But if you can do that at home, go ahead and do that.
And put it on the money line, right? $10 will get you $60. Not bad for that little 3 parlay, dog. If you want to get crazy with it, put 100 on it.
Especially if you don't, if you're a casual bettor, you're not a degenerate.
No. Don't be a degenerate.
1-800-GAMBLER, please.
Yeah, $10. I mean, I'm not saying we're millionaires.
No, for sure.
$10 to get you almost $100.
And I think Joel said it earlier, man. Before we started the podcast, like this is a good place to really get started when you're betting, right? Like the Super Bowl, you're probably at a Super Bowl party or at a bar chilling with friends. The app is now available to everybody in Florida. You know what I mean? So like
maybe you're not
have some fun with it.
Maybe you're not even doing the app. Maybe you're doing like
a box
squares
at work. Yeah,
and you're doing it at the party that you're at, or you're doing it with your job or a little pool or whatever. Yeah. There's always some good fun to be had around the big game.
Yeah, man.
It literally brings like even girls that don't watch football. Just like, I want to watch the game. I'm gonna bet on this.
Keeps people entertained. Like Taylor Swift. How many times are they gonna show her? Like
first play of the game. What's it gonna be? A runner, a pass?
Yeah. There's so many things to bet on.
I really hope they break up.
Oh man.
He's gonna propose to her when they win, right on the 50.
I won't watch football.
Andy Reid's gonna hand him the.
That's in the script.
Box.
My dog said it's in the script.
Yep.
Yeah, bro. I mean, the Super Bowl, like we said, I think is a good place for people to start betting. We want to do these type of segments more often where we help people not only get into gambling, right? Learn about the ins and outs of it, how much you should be spending, what to look for, how to really get bang for your buck, and follow the trends, man. Go with what experience has shown you, i.e. Patrick Mahomes, right? Like, there's a good reason why that guy has been winning Super Bowls or been in Super Bowls a lot.
I have never lost a bet with Patrick Mahomes.
He's gonna.
I am so serious, guys.
He's not kidding.
Never lost a bet.
He's not kidding. Mahomes. Just to touch up real quick on the Heat, man. I know you're a Heat fan. You watch them a lot, dog. Like, what are your thoughts on how they've been kind of struggling? We know that Jimmy and the team is getting a bit together, but they just haven't. They don't look the same like last year, bro.
Listen, if you've been a Heat fan as long as I've been a Heat fan, you don't worry.
Yeah.
You don't worry.
My only worry is once we get to the playoffs.
We're going to be there. We're going to be there. We're going to be ready. There was nothing scarier than last year, dude.
But here's my thing with last year. We lost
the first playing game. We were behind in the second one. There was nothing scarier than last year. We're a so much better team. But that's my thing, P.
Like, you don't think that, like, right now we're at a point where we can't gamble on being an 8th, 9th seed and, like, making another runs to a final. I'd rather be a 5, 6, 7 seed.
I think we will be. I think, bro, Embiid just went down. He's probably more than likely
out for a while, dog.
Probably the season. They didn't really reveal like what the diagnosis. They said meniscus. They don't know to what degree, but even so, with the game of sport of basketball the way it is, the meniscus, he's probably going to be gone. At least 2 months. And if he does come back, he's going to be a shell of himself.
Yeah, he's going to be 60% at best.
I don't see us definitely not. I mean, we don't lose to the Sixers even with him there. Like, so I'm not afraid of. I'm not afraid of anybody, but I'm not afraid of the Sixers. The Knicks, come on.
No, man, that's not my worry, dog. My worry. Here's my thing.
Last year too.
He's been balling. He's a baller. He's a baller.
He's
Kevin Randall, not so much. But my Julius Randle, my bad. Kevin Randall, throwback. That's how old I am. My thing with this is this, right? And we can kind of finish on the Heat with this. Like, we know that this team has pieces that aren't necessarily the best pieces, but they can contribute. And we rely mostly
on best pieces though, because for us they're great pieces.
No, Bam is probably our best piece because of what he brings defensively, not necessarily offensively. It's like, yo, we're gonna put you on the best guy, and we know you're gonna lock him down, right? Even if that guy puts 30, he could have put up 60 on anybody else.
But it's also Eric Spoelstra too, because like yesterday, in the game before, like the 2-3 zone was murdering. It gave
but then Kawhi went off.
That's what it takes. Like, you have to make shots.
It's not that. It's that. And you know what? I mentioned it to Sergio. Jimmy Butler in the playoffs probably is one of the top 5 best players in the league, right? In the playoffs, top 5 player in the league. But most of the times, he's going to run into a top 3 player when he gets to the finals. And that may not necessarily go well for us because our next best player is probably not even in that top 15, top 20.
But also, we got to see of how things go along the way, because last year we had this picture, we lost Hero. So we didn't have him. We didn't know who the second guy was going to be. There's times where Caleb Martin showed up last year in the playoffs sporadically. Bam showed up sporadically. So I think now with those guys, having Hero, having Teddy now, having Bam still being Bam, even Highsmith gives you good minutes.
Every now and then, yeah.
And then Butler's going to be Jimmy Butler. I think we're in a really good place. It's like one of those, remember when Aaron Rodgers was like, yo, relax. We need to relax. Like,
all right.
We're also in, I would say, the weaker conference. So relax.
But I will say this. The expectations are higher.
Yeah.
Right? Because we are the Heat and we are a franchise that worries about championships. You know what I'm saying?
Are they really higher though?
Yeah, for sure. This is year 4 of Jimmy Butler experience, and we got Jimmy Butler to win a ring.
Higher for us or them? Because
I think for us.
For us.
Maybe and I think, and again, maybe even for them, though, because this is, like I said, Jimmy's getting older. He came here to win a championship, and we've already gotten so close.
I think
that it's like, fuck, what do I have to do to get over the hump?
I think, though, it's more of they're playing, everybody's playing for a championship. That's everybody.
For sure.
But they're playing hard, playing for a championship, but I wouldn't really say like our expectations is to win the final. Like, I think more of if you're in that Boston Celtics locker room, if you're in that Milwaukee Bucks locker room, that Nuggets locker room, that Clippers locker, like those are more like
championship or bust.
Bust.
Championship or bust.
I don't think the Heat are bust. Like, we're playing for a championship,
right?
But it's not so much like, if it's all over if we don't.
Yeah.
It's not all over. You know, we still have our pieces that are going to be here next year.
True.
You know?
Yeah, we know that Jimmy's going to be here for sure next year, obviously, right? We know that Bam's going to be here. Maybe more than likely Tyler Hero's here next year. We know that Terry Rozier's here next year. Hawkins is here for sure next year. So, yeah, you're looking at 5 players that you can build on.
Good as,
yeah, he's raw. So, he's raw.
So what if the Heat win next year and 2 years from now we win the finals? Is it still a success story or is it a failure?
It would be the best thing that could happen, and then hopefully Jimmy rides off into the sunset and says, "Yo, I retire."
So what if the Celtics win in 4 years? They would have been like, "Yeah, they screwed this shit up."
Yeah, and but that would mean that the Heat aren't winning. You know what I mean? And and that's a problem. And that's a problem.
But this is the best franchise this city has, right?
Absolutely,
so
without a doubt.
We're used to winning when it comes to the Heat.
That's why I say
we're just used to it.
That's why I say it's not necessarily championship or bust, but we know that when we take on a project, right, it's for that aspiration. We took on the LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh project. It was like, bueno, you guys know what the standard is here. Go for it.
We also have that. We've proven to have patience with Pat Riley.
Yeah. Yes. Most Heat fans.
We trust the Pat process.
Most fans. Yeah, man. Let's see. I just think that we would do much better by not making it harder on ourselves, right? Get into that 5-6 position and figure it out from there. Maybe even sneak up into 4.
Absolutely.
I want to give a quick shout out to the Panthers, man. They enjoyed All-Star Weekend this week. Big Bob got some playing time, did great in the goalie save competition. And Sam Reinhart, bro, that guy deserved it. The guy's the leading scorer for the points for the team. Most goals, 33 goals on the season. The guy is killing it, bro. And that guy deserved it. Well, you want to bring up the standings where he stand real quick?
Oh, was gonna say Panthers are on a 4-game win streak.
They're
and
killing
they had
it.
a 3-game homestand coming up this week. So if you got nothing to do this week,
go check them out.
I'm looking at the standings for the Heat. Yeah, I got them here.
Where are they at right now? Just curious.
Right now we're sitting in the 8th spot.
8th.
Okay.
Yep, 8th spot, 26 and 24. We are 1 game behind the Magic, who are half a game behind the Pacers.
We're not also worried about.
And then
we're not worried about.
What are we? We're 5 games behind the Sixers, and we're 6 games behind the Knicks.
Not worried about.
Let's see.
The Knicks aren't even worried about that.
Let's see. We got to see this team gel, right, for sure, and we got to see Terry Rozier find his lane, right?
What happened, guys?
Let's see.
If there's anybody you're gonna trust, it's Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra.
Slam the Heat on the next game.
Who do we got?
Oof, that's gonna be.
I think we play a tough team in this like this.
We play the Magic tomorrow at 7:30 at home.
Slam the Heat. All right, my dog P says slam the Heat.
That's an important one that has implications for ranking.
Absolutely, and the division,
So
that means a lot. That means a lot.
And they got the last one. They whooped us on the last one a couple weeks ago.
Whooped us.
We need this one.
Yeah, man. Absolutely, P, man. Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate you coming on, man. Let the people know where they can follow you and your Performance Institute.
Yes, sir. So @_DP Performance, @_DP Performance.
And if you have a young child that's getting into the sport or anything like that, really needs some training, wants to learn how to properly train and work out for the things that they're doing, this is a great guy to hit up because he really takes his time and has a lot of patience and tries to teach everybody about their individual body and sport, man. So you need people like this guy around your young athletes, man.
Also, too, just do your research on whoever, even if it's not me. Make sure you do your research. Make sure that person's qualified. Make sure that person's got legitimate experience. Just don't go out there and throw your money to anybody. All right, don't believe the smoke and mirrors.
Yep. And if you got a question, hit him up. He'll be more than happy to hit you up, guys.
Sir.
Make sure you guys are following, hitting that notification button, because we're gonna keep bringing you episodes just like this here on the Sports with SoSo podcast. It's your boy So. Peace.